hope you enjoyed that little video about the altar of heaven. It's amazing that that's not built at all with any kind of metal in it, right? That it's just with wooden pegs. But anyway, so that was the place where the emperor was in touch with Tian and actually would give account, or like the annual report to the gods, or to Tian, to God, to the natural law, and was praying for good fortune for the coming year. The unity in which all things fit together in harmony was called the Tao. Tao can also be translated as the way. Sometimes you see Tao also spelled with a T, could be Tao. That is only a matter of how you transliterate things from the Chinese characters and the Chinese pronunciation into English. I guess it is something, the sound should be something between the D and the T. But I like to use Tao and use it a little more softer than the T is. If one knows the Tao, then one is connected with the Tao, then one is also connected with Tian. And that would be giving you good fortune and a good life. Now, if you lost the Tao, then your life would fall apart, or you would have hardships or difficult things happening in your life. The Tao was believed to could be found in 3 different realms. It could be found outside in nature, it could be found in the inner self, or within society. Now, at the end of the Sui dynasty here, around between the years of 403 and 221, it was a pretty rough time in Chinese history. At that time, many different kings were trying to overrun the empire and trying to build up their own little empires. And it was called the Warring States period. Life became very unstable in the Warring States period. It was uncomfortable living then. People felt like they had lost the Tao. They didn't know how they would be in touch with Tian again to find some more harmony. People were asking how they could find the Tao. If only they could find the Tao, they would again find more harmony and peace and prosperity. There were 3 big important questions that came out of that time. Question number 1 was, how do we find the Tao? Question number 2 was, now if we found the Tao, how do we live the Tao? And then the question number 3 was, and if we found the Tao and we know how to live it ourselves, how do we build a society? A society around the Tao. There were 2 different answers that came out of that debate. One answer was Taoism. The other one was Confucianism. Both strands of thoughts were answering the question, how do we find the Tao? Both of them have answers for that. However, Taoism focused more on giving an answer to how do we find the Tao, whereas Confucianism answers the question, how do we build a society around the Tao? Now, before we consider each one of those thoughts, the Taoism and Confucianism, I don't know how many of you remember the Disney movie Mulan. Mulan has certainly ideas about how ancestralism works. It has the Warring State period quite a bit in it, although the Warring State period was a little bit earlier. Mulan placed between the end of the Qin dynasty. It is the Hans in that case that are trying to take over the empire. But I have a short compilation of the movie Mulan in 13 minutes. So maybe you remember the movie, but here's a fun little thing. And when you watch it, see where how answericism is coming out here, and how some of the other Chinese ideas about respecting the elders and your place in society and the war and all of those things, how that fits in with the movie Mulan. After you finish watching the movie, you can respond to some of the questions in the lesson, and I will see you again the next time when we talk about Taoism. Thank you very much, and good luck with our first online lesson.